Essential English vocabulary for daily life is our main focus today as we help you navigate your world with total confidence and ease.
We are going to explore the most common words and phrases you actually need for things like grocery shopping, meeting neighbors, and getting around town.
It is so great to be back in the studio with you because I know how much these simple words can change someone's entire day.
I agree completely because using the right casual word makes you feel like you belong and helps you connect with everyone around you.
Before we get into the heart of the topic, if you enjoy our conversations, please consider hitting that subscribe button and liking this video.
Let us start with the kitchen because that is where most of our daily life happens when we wake up and start the morning.
The word appliance is a big one that people use all the time when talking about the toaster or the microwave in the house.
That is a perfect example because if something breaks, you need to tell your landlord or a friend exactly what is not working correctly.
I usually just say my coffee maker is acting up, which is a very casual way to say it is having some strange problems.
Acting up is such a native phrase that makes you sound very natural when you are complaining about technology or small machines at home.
What about when we go to the store to buy food for the week? Because the vocabulary there is very specific for daily routines.
You definitely need to know the difference between a cart and a basket, depending on how much food you are planning to buy today.
I always grab a cart, even if I only need 2 things, because I usually end up finding more items that look delicious.
Then you get to the checkout counter, and the cashier might ask if you found everything okay, which is a standard polite question.
I usually just smile and say yes, thanks. Or I might mention that I could not find the specific brand of bread I like.
Brand is a premium word for shoppers because it helps you distinguish between the expensive stuff and the generic items on the shelf.
Generic is another great word for daily life because it refers to the store version of a product that usually costs much less.
When you are walking around your neighborhood, you might see your neighbors and want to say something more than just a simple hello.
You could ask, "How is it going?" or mention the weather, which is the most classic way to start a casual conversation with anyone.
If they are working in their yard, you can say your garden looks great, and that is a wonderful way to be friendly.
Yard and lawn are words we use constantly when we talk about the space outside our homes, where the grass and flowers grow.
It is also important to know the word sidewalk, because that is where you walk to stay safe from the cars on the street.
I often tell people I am just going for a stroll, which sounds much more relaxed and casual than saying I am walking.
A stroll implies you are taking your time and enjoying the fresh air, which is a very common activity for people everywhere.
When we think about our daily commute or just getting around the city, the vocabulary becomes even more essential for staying on track. You might need to use public transportation like the bus or the light rail, and knowing how to ask for the schedule or the fare is a top priority. I always tell people to look for the transit app on their phone because it uses real-time data to show exactly when the next ride is arriving at your stop. It is much better than just standing there wondering if you missed it or if it is running late today.
That is a great point, because the word commute refers to that specific journey you take every single day between your home and your place of work. Many people find their commute to be the most stressful part of the day, but having the right words to describe it can actually help you vent to your friends. You might say the traffic was bumper to bumper, which means the cars were so close together they were almost touching and moving very slowly. It is a very descriptive and casual way to explain why you might be a little bit late for a meeting or a lunch date.
Speaking of being late, the word running behind is a very polite and natural way to tell someone that you are not on schedule. Instead of just saying, "I am late," which can sound a bit blunt, you can say, "I am running about 5 minutes behind, and I will be there soon." This shows that you are aware of the time, and you are making an effort to get there as quickly as possible. It is these small shifts in vocabulary that make your English sound much more fluent and considerate to the person who is waiting for you.
I love that expression because it sounds so much softer and more natural in a casual setting with friends or neighbors. Another area where we use a lot of specific daily vocabulary is when we are dealing with household chores and keeping our living space clean and organized. You might need to do the laundry, which involves sorting your clothes into lights and darks before putting them into the washing machine. Then you have to deal with the dryer or hang them up to air dry if the fabric is delicate and you do not want it to shrink.
Shrinking clothes is the worst feeling, especially when it is your favorite shirt that you just bought last week at the mall. We also use the word clutter to describe all the extra stuff that builds up on our tables and counters over time. I try to have a big decluttering session once a month where I go through everything and decide what to keep and what to donate to a local charity. It makes the house feel so much bigger and more peaceful when you get rid of the things you no longer need or use.
That is a very healthy habit to have, because a clean space really does lead to a clear mind for most people I know. When you are out in the community, you might also visit the pharmacy to pick up some over-the-counter medicine for a cold or a headache. The term over-the-counter is very important because it means you do not need a special note from a doctor to buy those specific items. You can just walk in, find them on the shelf, and take them to the register to pay for them like any other product in the store.
The pharmacy is also where you might hear the word prescription, which is the official paper or digital order from your doctor for stronger medicine. It can be a bit confusing at first, but the pharmacists are usually very helpful if you ask them to explain how often you should take the pills. They might say, take 1 tablet twice a day with food, which is a very standard instruction for many common health issues. Understanding these basic health terms ensures that you are taking care of yourself properly and following the right advice for your recovery.
Let us shift gears and talk about the vocabulary we use when we are hanging out with friends at a park or a local cafe. You might hear someone use the word catch up, which means to talk about everything that has happened in your lives since the last time you saw each other. It is one of my favorite things to do on a weekend afternoon because it feels so good to reconnect and share stories with people you care about. you might grab a coffee to go, which means you are taking the drink with you instead of sitting down inside the shop to finish it.
To go is such a staple phrase in American culture because everyone is always moving so fast and trying to get to their next destination. Another great word for social situations is a get-together, which is a very casual way to describe a small party or a meeting of friends at someone's house. It is not a formal event with a dress code, but rather a relaxed time to eat some snacks, listen to music, and just enjoy each other's company. I always bring a small gift like a bag of chips or some soda to contribute to the gathering and show my appreciation for the host.
That is very thoughtful of you, and it is a common social custom that helps build strong friendships over time in any community. We should also mention the vocabulary related to the weather because it is the most frequent topic of conversation you will encounter in daily life. You might hear people say it is drizzling, which means it is raining very lightly, or they might say it is pouring if the rain is coming down very hard. Knowing these variations helps you describe your day more accurately and understand what people mean when they are complaining about the forecast on the news.
The forecast is that prediction of what the weather will be like for the next few days, and we all check it before we plan our outdoor activities. If the sun is shining and there are no clouds, we call it a beautiful day. But if it is gray and dark, we might describe it as overcast. These simple adjectives allow you to participate in the most common small talk that happens at the bus stop or while waiting in line at the bank. It is a low-pressure way to practice your English and feel more comfortable speaking with strangers in a natural and friendly manner.
Thank you so much for joining us today on this journey through the most important words for your everyday routines and social interactions. If you found this helpful, please do not forget to subscribe and give us a like to help more people find our casual English lessons. We really appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode where we will explore even more practical tips for your fluency. Have a wonderful day and keep practicing your English whenever you get the chance, because you are doing a great job.